Hello everyone, welcome back to Living Life Dial Style. I want to try to have a smile on my face when I do this. It's good to have y'all back. I done did a thing, y'all. Look at that. We done did a thing. We bought us a Chinese mini excavator and we're bringing this thing over here to some land that we've got, and we're going to try to put a pipe in. Now, I've never put a pipe in with a mini excavator, and I'll tell you right off the bat that it's a booger trying to get used to these controls. It's like trying to do this, but it's even worse than that because it's like doing four things at once. So critique me if you want to. I don't care. But you should have seen me trying to load this thing. It was funny, man. We thought we was gonna flip it over, but we got it on. But so anyway, that's what we're gonna try to do. I have a DM12RX-C Plus. I've been watching videos on these things for a long time, and I've never seen one with all the features that this one has. It got a ton of features, a ton. But I am struggling with getting used to it. I've only got about 30 minutes on it. So we're going to get this video started. We're going to try to put a pipe in. I've never done it before. And hey, if you see that I'm doing something wrong, feel free to comment and tell me. And if I'm doing something wrong, I'll try to get it right. And the good thing about it is I'm doing it myself. So if I mess it up, I can always redo it. So here we go. All right. Success. Success. Earlier when I was taking this thing off the trailer, or putting it on the trailer, my wife and son freaked out on me because this thing was crazy trying to get it on there. So what I'm gonna do, this thing's pretty cool. It's got a backup camera on it and a front-facing camera, and it's also got the two speeds. It's got the rabbit and the turtle, and this is turtle right now. I'm gonna have to dig out a little bit. The city has already done a pretty nice trench, but I am gonna have to dig it out a little bit. But I'm going to have to put a good bit of dirt on top of this pipe to cut and kill some of this hill. This thing is sketchy. And the trick, I'll tell you, it's hard for me to recognize. It's hard for me to recognize with my left hand. My left hand goes up and down, and or in and out, and I'm struggling with getting all that. Whoop! There we go. Now I'll tell you what I did. I have made a already. I've made I have already made a modification to this thing just to help me out a little bit, as you would be surprised that how jerky this thing can be. The controls are super soft, super sensitive. Now I'm trying to do some stuff like I've seen that some people do. It's funny. Okay. Let me see if I can dig sideways like this, because I'm not doing a whole lot of, see if I can do it this way without. That's funny. I guess you got to be able to laugh at yourself sometimes, right? Ooh, this thing is funky. But anyway, I'm going to have to dig into that thing a little bit right there. But talking about the modification I made, when I'm trying to concentrate, it's hard for me to do a lot of talking because I won't make a whole lot of sense. But what I did is, a lot of people put these springs under these pilot controls, and I put the springs under it. I tried that, and it worked okay, but it was still pretty bad. But I think I've come out with a different way to do it now that might be a little easier or a little better. What I ended up doing was, on these pilot controls, there's four pins on each side of these controls. You know, they go left, right, forward, and back. And what I ended up doing was, I ended up putting I got rubber hose, like rubber fuel line, and it's just bigger than the little pins. And what I did is, I cut them about a little over a half an inch long, and I took the springs off, and I put the rubber hose things on here. And what it's done is, I have to mash the controls a lot harder to make it do what I want it to do. But it's pretty cool because I can still make it work fast if I want to. You know, I can still make it work fast. Like I said, again, you can see probably just by listening to my voice, how difficult it is for me to get this. See, I'm just going all crazy with it. And it's comical in one way, but in another way it sucks. Because I want to learn how to operate it, but I know the only thing that's going to help that is time. And just being able to put some time in on it. And that's the biggest thing, is just the time. Now this machine does have the, it's got the swing on the boom. You can see me, you can tell every time I move the thing that I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Whoops, sorry. See how jerky it is? And really a lot of that jerkiness, I think, is because of the fact that I'm not confident that I know which way to move the handles yet. What I've been doing is I've been talking to myself, telling myself what each handle does. And, but I can't do that while I'm talking to you guys. So you can see I'm as slow as a turtle. Because that's another thing, you know, it's when you try to pat your head and do a circle around your stomach, that's just two things. This is like four things at once. And I'm sure if you watch this and you know anything about this, you know what I'm talking about. But so, like I said, it's interesting at best. Lord have mercy. Again, I do have the hydraulic thumb, which is pretty cool. But there again, that's just one more thing to operate. You do that with your foot. And I'm not running this thing yet, but about half throttle. It's actually on 3. I could probably bring it up a hair and make it a little better, maybe. Obviously, though, the faster you make it run, I think the harder the hydraulics work. And I've tried to do the adjustment thing on it, but this thing is adjusted all the way down now. One thing is, too, is this is a Lord, I'm up under myself. I've done got under myself. I'm gonna have to get out and get myself straightened out. Let me get back straight so I can get myself straight. But you know, it's just a big learning curve. All right, let's try that right now. All righty. Get the tongue back out of the way. And that might be easier if I just did that. Something's flying around me now. Got a bug on me. He must like me. Fly or something. That's funny. Get on out of here. So far, I'm pretty pleased with this piece of equipment, though. This thing has got everything on it. It's got all the bells and whistles. This thing has got a hydraulic. Oh God, a big old earthworm. Man, that is crazy. This thing's got all the bells and whistles. It's even got a hydraulic filter on it. It's yeah, and the motor is a 440cc motor. It's fuel injected, guys. It's drive by wire. No more bad throttle cable. You know, I know a lot of people have a hard time with the throttle cables on these things, and but now, you know, I guess there's always there's always a caveat there. You know, because it's got a drive-by-wire, that's something electronic to break. But I guess the worst case scenario, if the stuff ever goes bad, and I have to end up, you know, that's the good thing about these, you know, having the gas engines on them. It's like, you know, I can go get a freaking engine from Harbor Freight, you know, and replace the whole engine, or I could get a carburetor for this engine and just make it carbureted. I wouldn't want to have to do that, but I'm hoping the fuel injection stuff lasts for a good while, because that would be amazing if it did. Okay, see, now I'm just taking more or less, and I'm just going down and just pulling it forward and scooping, you know, instead of trying to do all that other fancy stuff. So so you see how I'm doing that now? Now I'm just more or less putting the bucket down and pulling it forward, just doing like a scoop. Okay, see how much better that's working for me. You have to remember which one. And it's always when you get in a hurry. You know, if you get in a hurry, that's when you start really freaking out. All right, I'm almost there. I'm almost here. But this thing's got a digital display on it right here. The digital display right here shows my gas gauge. It shows how much fuel I've got, and it shows the RPMs of the motor, and it shows the temperature of the hydraulics. I hope the hydraulic temperature works, because I've yet to hear the fan cut on. So, but I guess it's not going to cut on until it's hot enough. But I am watching for it, because I do want to see that fan cut on some point or another. Right now it's not too awfully hot, so that makes it, you know, pretty good. Okay, see, I'm starting to learn a little bit here. All right, let's get off of this thing, and we'll set the pipe in and see what it looks like. I have a lockout on the controls. That I hit the lockout, nothing works except for the drive gear. So cut the throttle down and then cut it off. And we'll try to set that pipe in and see what it looks like. I'm starting to get the hang of it. I've been doing a lot of talking. Have you been noticing that? Which I'm kind of trying to be like, huh? Oh, yeah. No, let's set the pipe in, Steve, and see what it looks like. You ready, bud? Come on. Okay. Hang on. Let me see. This is where you go to the hospital at right here. Okay. Well, I'm putting a lot of dirt on it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm gonna have a pretty good bit of dirt on it. So I'm hoping. Okay. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'll get back on. Stephen, you get on the other side and put your foot on it and keep it from rolling, because I'm gonna get on the excavator and I'm gonna push this dirt that I dug out right here up against it, just to kind of just go ahead and just set it in place. Look, all I want you to do is just stand here like this and just try to keep it from being pushed back. Okay? Let me get rid of this. Well, yeah, I don't want it to get, it's gonna rot, so it'll be a cavity there. All right, let me climb back on. I'm just going to use the front. Yeah. pipe in. It's rough right now. We've got a lot more dirt to bring in still to really, build it up. We've got to build up because we're going up that hill there. And at that point, I'll start to, cut into the hill a little bit to get an established road going there. But I'm pretty impressed with the little mini excavator. It did a pretty good job considering it was a novice like me riding it. But anyway, I guess that's going to be about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Just want to thank you again, and that's it from Living Life Dial Style.